Well, things getting a little bit feisty in the NBA, which I like to see once so often from this robotic style sports. But, you know, fun stuff. So, the NBA in season tournament is ongoing, and in two big matchups the other night between the Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. A Steph was hurt, so he didn't really play. And then, so Jay McDaniels and Klay Thompson got in a skirmish, which Rudy Gobert tried to break up, and therefore, I know somewhere I still need a shave, but so Klay Thompson got in a skirmish with Jay McDaniels, and then, like I said, Rudy Gobert tried to break it up. Draymond took exception to this, apparently. Got Rudy Gobert a chokehold. Ejected. Actually, so McDaniels, and Klay Thompson all were ejected. So already for when the first number of minutes, the Warriors without their big three total, without Draymond, Klay, and Steph. Now, it would have been a tough battle anyway. I mean, Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves have been doing very good to start the season, I must say. Edwards has been averaging, just over 30 points a game in the start of the season. It's very good. And, the T-Wolves will go as far as he'll go as Rudy Gobert, starting to look like the guy they trade for again. Something was glitched on my computer, I don't know what. But, yeah, good for T-Wolves. Karl-Anthony Towns doing well as well. But then on the other side, with another game. So, this wasn't as bad, nearly. So, Anthony Davis got tied up with a player on the Grizzlies. And it looked like a light shot, but it turned out to be a flop by the Grizzlies guy. And long story short, Anthony Davis penalized. It got chippy, but order was restored after. As the Lakers are doing, it's been quite interesting to see how these teams look to start the season, because John Morant has had that, or has that suspension. Marcus Smart traded to the Grizzlies. Kristaps Porzingis, seeing how he does for the Celtics thus far. Seeing these new pieces in different places have been interesting thus far to start the season. And yeah. but so long way to go in the season. But good stuff from the in-season tournament, and we'll see how it goes. It's just November, and we're kicking things off so far. So, I make picks and then about college and NFL. But before I get into those, gotta talk about this as Deshaun Watson. So, Deshaun Watson, we know, has been under a lot of pressure with this, or a tight microscope, pretty much, with this deal, or ever since the deal has been finalized when he got traded to Cleveland. He did okay, but he looked rusty at the end of the season. But did well enough. Then started this season, did okay. Looked like he was still trying to find his groove. And then the Titans game happened, and he looked like he was looking close to being who he was in Houston in his prime. And after that, he's been battling injuries, whether it's concussion or shoulder issue, ankle injury, which they talked about at the end of the game against the Ravens. Which, by the way, like I mentioned, he had terrible half, but he showed glimpses in the second half, played great, and ultimately they got the win. Now the reports, and it's pretty much official that Deshaun Watson, will undergo shoulder surgery and thus is out for the season, rest of the season. Now, like I said, he's been under a microscope with how much they gave up for him, how much they paid him, and especially with how Baker Mayfield has looked this season. He's looked good. Not great, but good. And has the Buccaneers in competitive nature in the AFC South. Now, what I will say is, yes, Deshaun Watson, yeah, especially with all those lawsuits and allegations and such, Anyway, I'll just talk about this season. Yes, he still looks not the same. And then, as I mentioned, Titans game, Sunday, both we saw glimpses of what he used to be. He was 5-1 as a starter, point blank. Whether you agree with that or not, again, it's team sport, and yeah. but that's the record. Now, the Browns will obviously turn to, their rookie Dorian Thompson Robinson and PJ Walker the rest of the way. Um, they're 6-3, still in the thick of things in the AFC North, the competitive one, with a great defense. Um, it sucks for them because they lost Nick Chubb and now Deshaun Watson. So, going to rely more on that defense, Myles Garrett, and that run game, which has looked better. Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt. It's not as effective as Nick Chubb was, but it's gotten better uh, since it was the first couple games when Chubb was lost for a season. But we'll see how DTR looks. I mean, he looked very good in the preseason, like Aiden O'Connell, who is starting for the Raiders and looking okay, and 2-0. Now, yes, DTR did have a start this season earlier versus the Ravens, but, basically he was given that notice on the day of the game. Again, with the shoulder issue of Deshaun Watson. Anyways, we'll see. It's going to be tough, but if DTR looks good or close to it as how he did in the preseason, then I think Cleveland will be fine with that defense as well. And we'll see. They're 6-3, so yeah. It sucks, obviously, as far as off the field, but on the field, fan Deshaun, what did in Houston, yeah. So, Georgia, as expected. So, the new college football rankings came out Tuesday night. Not much difference, but really at the top, Georgia, after dismantling of Ole Miss, Cotton, Ohio State, and at the top. So good stuff. See, basically everything was the same. Ohio State 2, Michigan 3. I accidentally mishapped with that. I thought Michigan moved down to 4, but no. Michigan 3, Florida State 4. Well, suspect about Florida State still being at 4. But Washington and Oregon's going to have some bonus pick on that. So, Oakland A's can soon be Las Vegas A's, the way it seems. We'll see. David Braun still now is a full-time head coach after doing a good turnaround for Northwestern this season. Good stuff. Going 5-5 thus far after 1-11 last season. So good stuff. Bills are in haze. Ken Dorsey fired. Um, Rest in peace, Pete Keir Seiler, um, former Padres owner. Um, I'm not much into baseball, but you know, it's always definitely see guy of a rich, nonetheless a good franchise and the Padres and yeah, 63 gone a bit soon, too soon. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Sucks. Staying on the topic of baseball, despite going one and done in the playoffs as the one seed last season, the Baltimore Orioles won Manager of the Year and Rookie of the Year in Gunnar Henderson and their manager for the American Conference. So kudos to them, we can say. So, yeah. So, let's get into the games this weekend. So, first off, NFL tonight got themselves a fun one. So it seems. So, Bengals 5-4 pretty much need this win against Baltimore Ravens. Ravens 3.5 point favorites at home. Both lost on Sunday to walk-off field goals among the 6 that were in Week 10. I don't think we'll see 6 again, but you know, whew, this is gonna be interesting. So, Joe Burrow has looked healthier this season, or the last couple weeks. And in production, yes, it's improved. In points, so not a whole lot. And, both teams are going to be without a number of injuries or number of ammo on both, as Bengals will be without Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins. That's tough. Although they still have Jamar Chase. Ravens will be likely without Marlon Humphrey. That's tough. Also, I mean, this is going to be a physical game. Kyle Van Noy, Kyle Hamilton, you know, guys all around. Jadeveon Clowney, he hasn't done great, but he's done swell this season. Um, I'm going with the. I went with the Ravens to start. I'm sticking with them. Ravens win 23-20. They're a close one, but Probably a Justin Tucker field goal gets it done. Cowboys going to Carolina on Sunday. Cowboys 10.5 point favorites on the road. I mean, Panthers look like the worst team in the league. I'm sorry, Bears. I said that a few weeks ago. Or like the first month. Like the first month of the season. I'm sorry, it's the Panthers. And 27-14. Dak, as long as he doesn't do anything stupid, they'll win. Good margin. Yeah. Steelers at Browns. Boy, has this taken a toll. As I just mentioned earlier about Deshaun, DTR, so that has kind of felt. So originally Browns opened at 4-point favorites. Now they're down to 1 point at home. I mean, rookie QB, this can be tough. This is going to be a close one. You know, may very well be similar to how it's been the last two games. With hmm, yeah, I'm going with Steelers 21-17. Lions hosting the Bears. Lions 8-point favorites. Lions are, you have to respect them. They are one of the best teams in the league. You gotta respect those Lions from the mean streets of Detroit. So now Jesse Fields will be back. So I expect them to help with this game. For that, I'll give another few points. So I'm going with Lions win 28-21. So Bears cover, yet Lions still win. Chargers at Packers. Chargers 3-point favorites on the road. In Lambeau, this has been a bit tricky, as I have liked what Jordan Love has done the last couple of weeks with Luke Musgraves and offense. It's just, he's made mistakes, at the end of the Broncos game, at the end of the Steelers game, both games they could have won, just lost. And, again, Chargers, after letting that one slip away, very much need this. And, with a win here, they can be one of those 5-5 teams. And we'll see. But 24-20 Chargers on the road. Texans hosting the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's second start back. Obviously got the win last week over the topsy-turvy, whatever you want to call them, Falcons. But now on the road, Texans 4-point favorites. CJ Stroud playing as good as anyone is right now in the NFL. I mean, just what a job he's done. Gonna be fun, but 26-21, Texans win. Should be a semi-fun game, I would say. One of the underrated games of the day. Titans at Jaguars. Jaguars 6.5-point favorites at home. So now Jaguars got smothered by 49ers last week. Luckily, Titans defense, although it is good, it's not as good as the 49ers defense. And again, Will Levis, it's a learning curve. Great week. Won against the Falcons. Lost final minute against the Steelers. He looked good to start for the Buccaneers, but then fizzled. See the good, and we're seeing the limitations. Especially that O-line, the injuries. We saw how banged up it was against the Steelers, and should have taken that more into account. The Jags, off a beatdown like that, you gotta rebound. So, I'm going with the Jaguars here to win 20-13. They get the win. Rebound nicely. Dolphins hosting the Raiders. Dolphins 12-point favorites. Now, we know the Raiders 2-0, filling themselves now with Antonio Pierce being physical. Kind of doing. First week it looked great in their beatdown versus the Giants, and then last week against Jets, wasn't pretty, but got done. Now 5-5, filling themselves, going to Miami. Miami 12-point favorites. Yeah, Dolphins need this win. Feels like after losing in Germany. So, yeah, 28-17. Dolphins win. Commanders hosting the Giants. Commanders 9.5-point favorites. Last time they fought, Giants won 14-7. 14-7. And Commanders still have their chances in that game with Tyrod Taylor starting for Giants. Now it's going to be Tommy DeVito. I do think DeVito will show some improvement as he did for the Cowboys. Division opponent, but I tell you, Sam Howell has done very well this season. I mean, despite them losing last week versus the Seahawks, he held his own. When Mark Sanchez said, it's time to show to be your franchise QB, let them down touchdown drive to tie the game. So, yeah, I'm going with the Commanders here, 20-10. Somehow gets done. This as well could be an underrated game of the day. 49ers hosting the Buccaneers. San Fran, the 11.5 point favorites. I don't think it'll be that easy as it did versus the Jaguars. I do think they'll look good. Again, they want to say Debo Samuel. It's the sexy get back, but Trent Williams, him and Debo back. That's really the bread and butter. So, yeah, 30-17. 49ers win. 2 in a row. Yeah, get it done. Bills hosting the Jets. Bills 7-point favorites. So Joe Brady is now the offense coordinator in facto now for the Bills. So this is going to be tough because Bills offense has just been a pure disappointment. I mean, realistically, it looked like somehow after all the turnovers, they were going to get done versus the Broncos. But nope. I mean, James Cook, need him to run the ball more and ease up things for Josh Allen. Josh just has to get it through his head that he doesn't have to do too much. I know that's a lot to ask, but he just doesn't have to do everything. And they'll be fine. Although the Jets could. Here's the thing. I can't believe. The reason why I picked the Jets in the first game was like, okay, at home, week 1, anything can happen. And Aaron Rodgers. And I was lucky that the Jets won when Rodgers got hurt. Now, here's the thing. Jets defense will deliver. It's just about their offense. And as much as we want to harp on, or as much as people want to harp on Zach Wilson, the reality also is that Brees Hall has not done as good. I mean, he's shown flashes, but he hasn't done as good as he was last year before he got hurt. So I think there's still a bit of recovery there from that ACL, still trying to get back. And Dalvin Cook has not been good this year. And spurt really when he's been in. So I mean I'm not confident, but I'm gonna go with the Bills in this 20 on it, so I'll go 24-16. Rams hosting the Seahawks. Seahawks 1-point favorites on the road. Technically, it'll be a home game because it's in SoFi. Nonetheless, Matthew Stafford is going to be back. And, last week or week one was that dismantle. And we know week one, crazy things happen. So, I mean, it's like, was that an anomaly or a harbinger of things to come? With the case of Rams, they were doing well. But we can tell the offensive line still has issues. But with them getting them back and Rob Havenstein should help. And, Puka Nacua and for Cup definitely benefit from Matthew Stafford being back and Carson Wentz, him being there. So, I mean, I just feel like with this, Rams win 27-24. They get done. I'm going to this game and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Broncos hosting the Vikings. Broncos 2.5-point favorites at home. Broncos on a 3-game win streak. Russell Wilson. Funny thing is, last year, we know he was awful. This year, he hasn't been lining it up in, the stats department or hasn't done a lot throwing. But we can tell he has improved. And he's been more efficient and, not turning over the ball as much. So, I mean, there's that. And the defense has been much better. The last number of weeks. I mean, held the Packers in this 3-game win streak. They held the Packers to 17 points. They held the Chiefs to 9 points. Crit. Whatever I say. Mahomes was sick, flu. At the end of the day, they held that many points. And they held the Bills to 22 points and 4 turnovers. So, I mean, say what you want. Broncos defense has held up a lot in this 3-game win streak. And we know with the Vikings, Josh CJ Stroud and Josh Dobbs. No two quarterbacks have played better than the last 2 weeks, in my opinion. So, I mean, this is a tough game to pick. Um, you know, hmm, I'm going with the Vikings 28-24 on the road. This win streak continues, and yeah. Eagles going to Super Bowl rematch. Eagles going to Kansas City. Chiefs 2.5-point favorites. I mean, here's the thing. Chiefs offense has not been, we can tell, as good as it was leading up into, or capable as the Super Bowl, we can clearly say. At the same time, we can say the Eagles offense has also taken a bit, not a large bit, but a bit of a step back. And, you know, Chiefs defense has been better. One of the better defenses in the league. Now, the weird thing is, Chiefs were ahead 21-0 and didn't score after that. This almost feels like a lose-lose game, as a viewer. Because while it would be a great game, Super Bowl rematch and all that stuff, one of these teams is bound to win. But if I had to pick, I have to pick the better team, which I think is now. I'm going with the Eagles 28-24. Same score. Vikings, Broncos, but yeah. So yeah, those are my picks for NFL Week 11. We'll see. Now let's go to college football to talk about a bit as we gear towards this weekend. I haven't checked the schedule, but we're bound to get a few good games, or a number of good games, this weekend. Dang it, I hate getting hit with ads on my phone. So let's see, we got Louisville versus Miami, which could be an interesting game in Miami. We got Oklahoma versus BYU. So Utah versus Arizona. I like that game. Again, Utah had things going um, before they just couldn't score in the second half versus Washington. And Fafita and that offense in Arizona, it's good. Georgia, draw another test in Tennessee, ranked Tennessee. We'll see how that goes. UNC versus Clemson, Drake May, Clemson. We'll see. Not a lot of ranked Washington versus Oregon State. We know that's going to be intriguing. And then ranked Kansas State versus Kansas. Unfortunately, got their bubble bursted last week, but we'll see. And then Florida Gators travel to Missouri. So, some unique matchups for this weekend. So, keep your eyes out, but we'll see. Because there's always a score that you don't expect. Anyways, guys, that's the podcast for you. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, thumbs up about the video. Yeah, it helps out the video and recommendations, all that stuff. Subscribe if you guys interested in subscribing to the channel, looking for shorts, videos, etc. Find so on channel as well as the notification bell. Find out when I post myself. I know that my schedule is not greatest, unfortunately, when posting videos. I apologize. Not that consistent, but of course, notification bell should help. I have not been subscribed to anyone and clicked on the notification bell, but nonetheless, it should help for differing schedules. But anyways, guys, see you guys next time, next week. Adios and peace.